right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling here tonight on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live with action from Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Our main event tonight from Charlotte Coliseum will be for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship as the champion, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, takes on a powerful challenger indeed in one Frank Gotch. So it is good to be here in the Dave Cave tonight. Also tonight we'll see a grudge match. Big John Studd with Bobby the Brain Heenan taking on Tom Jenkins. Eddie Guerrero and nephew Chavo Guerrero Jr. will be in action. And Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff will take on Blackjack Mulligan. But before we get into action, first of all, just got to see a great baseball broadcast on the RJL network on YouTube. The Mets and the Reds battled it out to the final out in the 1983 versions with, of all people, Bruce Moreni getting the victory in a combined shutout with Bill Shearer and Ted Power to defeat the mighty New York Mets in a thrilling contest. And that's why we push back the start of this tonight. I do enjoy Robert's baseball broadcasts. RJL Network is the moniker. If you are a baseball guy and you want to check that out, Robert is on just about every night. Steve Tower joins us in the chat room. Speaking of great broadcasters and great YouTube channels, check that out. And of course, Frank Wayne Scott, first in line at the turnstile tonight. Because I was so wrapped up in that baseball game, I only got one of my dark matches rolled, and that was Lou Thesz, still on the tail end of an ankle injury, picking up a victory over Tony Atlas by way of the Thesz Press. And before we get into tonight's regularly scheduled matches, I do have one bonus match that I am going to roll out here on the channel, as two brand new cards make their way to the tabletop for the very first time here on the Dave Cave, brought to you by Heartland Championship Wrestling. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Introducing first, out of Florence, Ontario, Canada, making his Epic Sports Broadcasting Network debut. He stands at 6 foot tall and weighs 232 pounds. This is Eric Young. Eric Young, great signing for the Filsinger Games net community. Indie card from the year 2022. He did have a brief appearance in the Buckeye Bowl on January 1st, but this is the first time we have seen him on the channel. And his opponent, courtesy of the WH Lineup Special Edition series of bootleg cards, from Austin, Texas. He stands at 6'1". He weighs in at 252 pounds. Break the glass, ladies and gentlemen. It is none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Steve Austin and Eric Young, a special bonus match here in the Dave Cave, as we will see how Austin does in his first ever Heartland Championship Wrestling appearance. And it is Eric Young who will win the opening initiative role and hit Austin with a straight right hand. But Austin gets the reversal right away with a double middle finger and a punch. How about that? Just what you would expect from Stone Cold and Eric Young. They come together in the center of the ring. And this time it is Eric Young attempting a Death Valley driver. That is a power move. The power advantage belongs to Stone Cold. So that ain't going to happen. And it is instead a big suplex by Stone Cold Steve Austin, reversing the attempted Death Valley driver that puts Eric Young down to the canvas. And now a Thesz press and a series of punches delivered by Stone Cold, taking Eric Young down to the mat. Referee pulls Stone Cold off of him, but he goes right back to the Stone Cold press, or the Thesz press and punches. I guess you could call it the Stone Cold press, but it is a Thesz press with punches. And now a falling elbow drop delivered by Steve Austin. Really more of a forearm across the throat. Young slow to get to his feet, and now a big back suplex delivered by Stone Cold. Stone Cold has taken control here. And it is Stone Cold now with a stomp to the groin. Oh my goodness, that doesn't feel good even a little bit. And now Stone Cold with a big clothesline takes Eric Young back down to the mat. Stone Cold in control with another big suplex. Up, over, and down to the canvas. Both men scrambling to their feet. As they come together, now it is Eric Young with another straight right hand. Young trying to rally here. Again tries that Death Valley driver to no avail. As Stone Cold comes back with another big back suplex, putting Young back down to the canvas. And now another Thez press and another series of punches delivered by Stone Cold. And again, and this time Young is going to hit the mat and roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Both these men A-rated brawlers. But on a roll of 9, it is Stone Cold winning the battle on the arena floor with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Stone Cold Steve Austin asserting himself here in a tough battle against Eric Young. And now a big clothesline delivered by Stone Cold. Young going out of the ring again. And we will see some shenanigans here. Ringside Mayhem brought to you by Eric Young. As Young has escaped the ring. And what will we see from Eric Young on the Ringside Mayhem table? It is going to be the tables. Tables in play. And it is attempting to set up the table is Eric Young. But Stone Cold ain't going to let that happen as Stone Cold interrupts. And on a roll of 8, it is Stone Cold who wins the brawl on the arena floor, ramming the back of Eric Young into the ring apron. So Young not able to set up a table at ringside as Stone Cold was first on the scene. And now it is going to be Stone Cold attempting a death jump. Going up to the top. Eric Young is C on the death jump table. And on a roll of 7, that is a big double axe handle off the top rope. Delivered by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now Austin with another falling elbow drop. And Young is down and staying down. Stone Cold going up for another death jump. Hasn't teed up the Stone Cold Stunner as of yet. But on the death jump table, on a roll of 9, that is the agility roll. The agility for both these men is equal. So Young tries to push Stone Cold off of the top turnbuckle, unable to do so. Stone Cold with another big double axe handle blow and another falling elbow drop, and out of the ring again goes Eric Young. And this time on a roll of 2, it is Eric Young who wins the brawl on the arena floor with a DDT onto the concrete floor. Oh my goodness, what a battle between these two we are seeing. Eric Young now in control, and he's going to go for a moonsault. And he got all of the moonsault. Stone Cold only with a pin rating of 1, so there will be no pin roll. But Stone Cold absorbs the first point of fatigue in this match, and now Eric Young is himself facing a choice H opportunity. That will either be a death jump roll of A or a flying elbow drop on a roll of 7 or lower. He's going to go for the flying elbow drop. And on a roll of 4, he connects. And Stone Cold is hurt, slowly getting to his feet. Eric Young is on him with a top rope dragon sleeper, taking him down to the mat, but Stone Cold is going to escape that and hit the arena floor. And on a roll of 8, it is Eric Young going to win the brawl on the arena floor with a backdrop onto the announcer's table. What a wild matchup we are seeing here tonight. Eric Young has control, and he is now going to go for a wheelbarrow neckbreaker. Wheelbarrow neckbreaker being attempted by Eric Young. He's got a mechanic here that he could convert this into an avalanche wheelbarrow neckbreaker, but he did not hit the roll of 6 he needed. Instead, on a roll of 1, Stone Cold hits the mat hard after that neckbreaker, and again rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor, where he grabs Eric Young, and he throat drops Eric Young onto the steel security railing. Wow, this match is turning out to be a lot more competitive than I expected. as these men go at it. But now Stone Cold dials up the Stone Cold Stunner. That is a +2 finisher. The pin roll here is 4. And on a roll of 4, he got him. How about that? Stone Cold Steve Austin, after a very engaging battle, gets the pinfall victory over Eric Young with the Stone Cold Stunner. What an exciting match we have just seen, ladies and gentlemen. Special attraction match. That was one of our supposed dark matches with 2 debuting wrestlers, but I decided, what the heck? It's Saturday night. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's put that match on the channel and see where we go. And it was entertaining indeed. Salvador America. Hope I said hello. If I didn't, welcome and thank you for checking out Heartland Championship Wrestling here tonight in the Dave Cave. And now we will go to our regularly scheduled televised matches. Later tonight, we'll roll the Eliminators against Larry Zbyszko and Tony Gurria, and the singles match between Bobo Brazil and the One Man Gang. Those will be our other dark matches for later on this evening. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a #1 contenders match for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Derek Bauman joins us in the chat room. Hello to you, my friend. Introducing first out of Eagle Pass, Texas. Standing at 6'9", weighing 340 pounds, this is Blackjack Mulligan. And his opponent comes to you from Tampa, Florida. Weighing in at 258 pounds, he stands at 6 foot tall. He is the Brandon Bull, Paul Orndorff. So Paul Orndorff and Blackjack Mulligan, may they both rest in peace, are squaring off for a shot at the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Of course, Terry Bam Bam Gordy holds that belt at the moment. He will be defending that belt later tonight in our main event. And the winner of this match will be next in line for a title shot. So Orndorff and Mulligan squaring off. Mulligan will have the power advantage. Orndorff will have the agility advantage, and the opening initiative role is won by Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff comes out with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Blackjack Mulligan, and on a roll of 11, that is a big specialty move, short arm clothesline, delivered by Orndorff, and immediately Mulligan is down on the canvas. And Orndorff is on him with a big forearm drop. Mulligan stays down. And now another short arm clothesline delivered by Orndorff, and Mulligan is leaving the ring. Also an A-rated, well, these men both also A-rated brawlers on the arena floor. Blackjack Mulligan and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It is Mulligan leaving the ring after that opening onslaught. As I shuffle up the out of the ring action deck. And on a roll of 2, it is Mulligan who wins the brawl on the arena floor. And nails Paul Orndorff with a running lariat on the arena floor. I don't know if Mulligan is a dive off the ring apron kind of a guy, but he certainly packs a punch with that lariat. And he has taken control of this one with that big blow on Paul Orndorff. And now Mulligan back in the ring is going to try a knee to the gut. This is a choice H maneuver, choice H. So he can either go agility on 8 or lower, or a death jump. Mulligan not much of a death jump guy, so he'll go agility 8 or lower. And on a roll of 6, he nails that knee to the gut. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is on Snake Eyes, but on a roll of 7, Orndorff able to kick out. Mulligan now back in control and is going to take things out of the ring and down to the arena floor again. This time Orndorff on a roll of 6 wins the battle on the arena floor with a pile driver onto the ring steps. That could cost Orndorff a disqualification. Is he going to be disqualified? Maybe. On a roll of 5 or lower, we'll see a DQ here, and that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff has been disqualified. And Blackjack Mulligan now your #1 contender for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. So the disqualification was preceded by a pile driver on the ring steps. And as we go to the custom table for the disqualification events, disqualification table. Let me just throw that up onto the screen here. This is our disqualification table. Reasons for disqualification. We'll start at the top here, and the roll is 7, so it is a foreign object. ORNDORFF used a foreign object. He used the video monitor, says the foreign object cards, and this will take us to the injury chart. So ORNDORFF has attacked Blackjack Mulligan with a video monitor. And now we will go to the injury chart, which is right here, and see what happens on a roll of a 20-sided die. The roll is 3. And on the roll of 3, the victim escapes injury. So Mulligan took a shot from the video monitor, but was able to not suffer any injury from that. And he is your winner by disqualification and your new #1 contender for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. All right, so hopefully that was an entertaining sequence of events there. That's how I handle disqualifications and injuries here in the Heartland. But now we will move on to our next contest, which is a tag team attraction. Scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one. And with this bunch, you never know. Both these teams well appreciated and well liked by the crowds. But you never know, as Salvador America points out, what the dice will do in the wacky world of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Introducing first, team #1, collectively known as the Varsity Club. Standing at 6'7", weighing 268 pounds, out of Tampa, Florida, this is the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey. And his tag team partner comes from Syracuse, New York. Standing at 6'1", weighing 238 pounds, this is Mike Rotundo. So Rotunda and Spivey, the Varsity Club, in one of its many iterations. Pretty well liked by the fans, but perhaps not as wildly popular as their opponents. Now coming down to the ring. At a total combined weight of 438 pounds, out of El Paso, Texas, it is Chavo Guerrero Jr. and Eddie Guerrero, the Guerreros. Never was good with those Spanish rolling of the R's. Ricardo Rodriguez has nothing to worry about when it comes to being a special ring announcer. But here we go. The tag teams are ready. And we are set to go with Eddie Guerrero opening the contest against Danny Spivey. As we get the show on the road, Eddie Guerrero wins the opening initiative roll and comes out with a flying head scissors. That's an agility move. And he got all of that one, taking Danny Spivey over and down to the canvas hard with a very fine move. And now a low blow to be delivered by Eddie Guerrero. This is a choice F maneuver, choice F. So he will need a roll of 9 or lower to complete that. And on a roll of 10, it is Danny Spivey. Spivey saw that coming. He was wise to the low blow. And Spivey reverses that and instead takes Eddie Guerrero out of his boots with a big clothesline. Eddie Guerrero is down as he's going to try to make the tag, and he is unable to do so. as Danny Spivey now has taken over. And Spivey going for the Bulldog. That's his +1 finisher. The pin roll here is 4 or lower. And on a roll of 5, Eddie barely gets his leg over the bottom rope. Now here comes Rotunda into the ring. The Varsity Club will double team. And on a roll of 10, that is a deadly elbow smash delivered by Mike Rotundo to keep control of this match as Eddie slowly gets to his feet. After that, Rotunda now in control with a leg drop. Eddie again going to try and make the tag, and on a roll of 7, he is unable to get there. Rotundo maintaining control with another leg drop. Eddie again trying to make a tag, and again unable to do that as Mike Rotunda, expert tag team wrestler, has cut off the ring and prevented Eddie Guerrero from making the tag. Rotunda now is going to go with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Eddie Guerrero, and on a roll of 10, it is both men attempting big specialty moves. The wrestler with the better turnbuckle rating, in this case Mike Rotundo, takes control on level 3 offense. So Rotundo with a big standing drop kick on Eddie as Eddie came off of the turnbuckle, and Guerrero now is stunned, and Mike Rotunda is going up for a death jump. Actually, he's got the choice here of a death jump A or rolling up, and Rotunda's going to roll up. And he is going to go instead for the elbow to the head. Eddie again trying to make the tag, and this time finally Eddie able to get over and tag in his nephew Chavo. Chavo coming in now against Rotunda with a drop kick, and he got all of the drop kick. Rotunda is stunned, and Chavo comes at him now with a rolling senton. Rotundo, both men getting to their feet. Rotundo first to his feet with a grinding hammerlock on Chavo, taking Chavo down to a knee on the canvas. And Rotundo now is going to go up for the death jump against Chavo. Chavo with a death jump B rating. And on a roll of 10, that is actually the agility roll. And Chavo does have the advantage on the agility roll. So Chavo knocks Mike Rotundo off of the top turnbuckle and down to the canvas. Chavo now in control. He is going for the frog splash. That's a +1 finisher. The pin roll here is 4. And on a roll of 11, Mike Rotundo able to kick out. So Chavo now, after hitting the frog splash, is in control. He now goes for the tornado DDT. Again, he's going for the cover. The pin roll again is 4. And on a roll of 5, Rotunda barely got his left shoulder out of there. And now the Guerreros are going to take their turn at a double team. And on a roll of 3, it is a deadly face-first double suplex. Rotunda is down. Chavo going for the pin. The pin roll now is 5. And on a roll of 4, he may get him. Danny Spivey going to try and make the pin save. And on a roll of 8, he cannot get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, after that double team face-first double suplex, your winners, the team of the Guerreros. Making some notes here. Chavo Guerrero with the pinfall victory over Mike Rotunda after a double team face-first double suplex. And let's see what's happening in the channel as we say hello to Super Blue 1971, our good friend Mike Fortune. Welcome to the broadcast. And now let's see, we have Salvador America speculating on whether Orndorff is going to interfere in the title match at another day, if that is going to escalate to a feud, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll do a little roll in the background and see what the response of Orndorff will be. Orndorff has been wrestling as a babyface in the AWF, so he may or may not evolve into some sort of a heel turn as a result of that. Super Blue 1971 joins us. Salvador America with a update. Golf just got steamrolled on a pick 6 by Washington's defense. How about that? What's the? Does that make it 7-0? What's give us an update on the score there, if you would, please, Salvador. Interesting NFL game on the airwaves tonight. Appreciate the updates. As many of you may know, my greatest loyalties in football are with my beloved Ohio State Buckeyes. I am anxiously awaiting Monday night when the Buckeyes have their shot at the national championship. 24-14, Washington leads. Wow, high-scoring game in Detroit. And I got to tell this story. I'm not going to get too much into the medical details. But I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, big Buckeye fan, my whole family Buckeye fans. On this past Friday, my brother-in-law, who is my sister's husband, living in Ohio, was in surgery, and was in surgery for quite a length of time, about an 8-hour surgical procedure, and then they took him to ICU, where he slept for several more hours before waking up. And the first thing he said to the nurse when he woke up from his surgery was, "Did I miss the Ohio State game?" So thoughts and prayers to my brother-in-law as he recuperates from surgery. He will be able to see the Buckeyes game on Monday night. His brother is going to come into town and watch the game with him from his hospital bed. So good thoughts and prayers to my brother-in-law, Pete, recovering from surgery. As Mike Fortune weighs in, KC won. That's all that matters. Yeah, I don't mind KC. I like variety. I'd like to see somebody different get through. Nothing personal against Kansas City. Just hoping to see one of the other teams get through there. I do have a personal connection to the Kansas City Chiefs. There is an offensive lineman on the Chiefs who, by the name of Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney is a Southwest Ohio product who is now playing for the Chiefs. Played for the Patriots for a number of years, protecting Tom Brady, now protecting Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Joe Thuney is the son of a man by the name of Dr. Mike Thuney. Dr. Mike Thuney was a colleague of mine. Mike and I shared an office together for 2 years in Dayton, Ohio at Good Samaritan Hospital back in the day. Mike and I shared an office, and Mike was a young fellow just getting started and having kids left and right. I think Mike has at least 4 or 5 kids or thereabouts, and Joe, one of his kids. Great guy, Mike Thuney, very smart guy, very nice guy, about 6'6", broad-shouldered, deep voice, friendly as could be. Love you, Mike. Love you, Joe Thuney. So if the Chiefs do win, they're not my number one team in the bracket, but we can at least rejoice with Joe Thuney getting yet another Super Bowl ring, courtesy of Tom Brady and now Pat Mahomes. And of course, controversy over the calls. Was that in the Chiefs game, Salvador, that you're talking about, or what? Please do give us a full report as we continue on with our next contest. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, 2 matches left to go, and then we can all go watch football together. The following match is scheduled for one fall to a finish with no time limit and no disqualification. This is a grudge match. Introducing first, out of Los Angeles, California, accompanied to the ring by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Standing at 6'10", weighing 364 pounds, this is Big John Studd. And his opponent out of Cleveland, Ohio, stands at 5'10" and weighs 202 pounds. This is Tom Jenkins. So Tom Jenkins and Big John Studd to square off in grudge match action here in Heartland Championship Wrestling in the Dave Cave. This, of course, a subset of the feud that originated with Ric Flair and Bobo Brazil. Ric Flair and Bobo Brazil feuded for the opportunity to wrestle for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a #1 contenders match, which was won by Bobo Brazil. And Flair took it upon himself to start up a feud with Bobo Brazil. And members of the Heenan family, including Flair and Curt Hennig and Big John Studd, got involved. And Tom Jenkins stepped up and formed an alliance with Bobo Brazil. And as a result of that alliance, Tom Jenkins finds himself across the ring from Big John Studd here tonight in Charlotte. So we'll get the grudge dice fired up as Tom Jenkins and Big John Studd will go at it. And the opening initiative roll is won by Big John Studd. Studd comes out with a series of clubbing forearms. Jenkins backing down as Studd goes to work, and now with a big headbutt attempt. That is an agility move. The agility belongs to Tom Jenkins in this match, so Jenkins able to escape the nasty big headbutt by Studd, and it is Jenkins instead attempting a quarter Nelson on Studd. Studd, a very big man, able to reverse that, and Studd just locks up and shoves Tom Jenkins across the ring. Both men getting to their feet. It's Studd again taking the control here with another series of clubbing forearms. Jenkins standing his ground and firing back. Attempting a body scissors. This is a choice F maneuver, a choice F for Tom Jenkins. So he will need a roll of 10 or lower to complete this, but only on a level 2 of damage. And he does hit the body scissors, and Studd is taken down to one knee. And Jenkins stays on him now with a hammerlock. And that's what you want to do to Big John Studd. You know, Jenkins has a hammerlock. He has a stranglehold. He has a couple of Nelson-style maneuvers that he can pull, submission holds, and he's going to go for the submission here right away. And Studd is able to break free from that. But Studd absorbs the first point of fatigue in this match. Let's see what Jenkins has up his sleeve next. He's going to go for a double Nelson. A double Nelson. And that will increase Jenkins' finisher rating on the half Nelson. Whenever Jenkins executes a double Nelson or a three-quarter Nelson, it adds 1 to his finisher rating, up to a level of 2. So the half Nelson now will be a +1 finisher. In response to this, Big John Studd is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Studd, surprisingly, only a B-rated brawler. Jenkins, however, is a C, so Studd will have the advantage here. And on a roll of 9, it is Big John Studd who wins the brawl once again with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Boy, those ring steps are taking some punishment here tonight. Jenkins is down, and Studd now is in control. And Studd is going to keep the action out of the ring and on the arena floor. And it is going to be Big John Studd initiating some shenanigans here. We go to the shenanigans table. Ringside Mayhem brought to you by Big John Studd. And on a roll of 11, that is going to be outside interference right away. It's going to be Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, coming to ringside. And Bobo Brazil is not far behind. So now we've got Bobo Brazil and Curt Hennig at ringside cheering on their respective men. And the gut check roll shows that this will not yet escalate. But tensions rising here in Charlotte as Studd and Jenkins are battling it out, and now Bobo Brazil and Curt Hennig have joined them at ringside. And on a roll of 11, it's Tom Jenkins out of the ring as Big John Studd just nails Tom Jenkins out of the ring and hurls Tom Jenkins into the crowd. That is a count-out roll. We won't be Tom Jenkins passes the count-out roll, although there is no count-out. If a wrestler accumulates enough fatigue and gets counted out, I just declare it as a knockout and award the victory to the opposing wrestler. As Jay Randis joins us here in the chat room. Big John Studd still in control here, and now it is Big John Studd applying the rear chin lock. Jenkins slowly getting to his knees. Stud stays on him, tries another headbutt. Jenkins able to avoid that, and Jenkins comes back with a body lift and slam. Looks more like a hip toss, but it's enough to get Big John Studd off his balance and over onto his back. Jenkins going to go for a quick cover here on a roll of 3 or lower, but on a roll of 9, Studd able to kick out, and the match will continue. Can Jenkins get him into another submission predicament? He cannot. Instead, he's going to go for another hip toss over and down to the canvas, this time Studd getting to his feet. And now an arm bar and crossface applied by Tom Jenkins. Jenkins doing everything he can to keep Studd down. And now the quarter Nelson applied. Studd finally able to get to his feet. And it is Big John Studd firing back with some clubbing forearms that send Tom Jenkins backpedaling. Studd now follows that up with a big bear hug. A punishing bear hug delivered by Big John Studd. Studd follows that up now. Thought about a whip to the turnbuckle. That's an A. Thought better of it, and instead goes for a backbreaker across the knee. And that is a mighty painful maneuver for Tom Jenkins. Big John Studd going back to the rear chin lock. And now going back to a big clothesline. As Jenkins got to his feet, Studd just took him down with a clothesline. He goes for the cover. The pin roll here is 3. And on a roll of 11, Jenkins able to get that left shoulder out of there. And the match will continue with Studd now in control. And Studd now goes for the backbreaker. This is a +3 finisher. The pin roll here is 7. And we're going to see Bobo Brazil attempt to intervene on behalf of his partner. And on a roll of 7, it is Bobo Brazil on the attack, and a brawl results. We've got all 4 men now brawling. Studd is brawling, Jenkins is brawling, Curt Hennig is brawling, and Bobo Brazil is brawling. We go to the gut check roll. And the gut check roll is won by the Heenan family. So it is Big John Studd and Curt Hennig fighting off Jenkins and Brazil. Jenkins takes another point of fatigue after the backbreaker. Studd now with a chance to do some more damage. He's going to go for the double arm suplex on a roll of 8 or lower. He is able to hit that. And Jenkins is once again down. And Studd now is going to pitch Jenkins out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor, it is Big John Studd winning the brawl and just dropping Tom Jenkins stomach first across the security railing. So Jenkins is down. Bobby Heenan is jubilant. Curt Hennig and Bobo Brazil continue to brawl as Studd is going to keep the action out of the ring. And again, we're going to see ringside mayhem here in Charlotte. Brought to you by Big John Studd. And it is Big John Studd who is going to go to the foreign object. Studd now has a pair of brass knuckles, and he's going to attempt to do damage to Tom Jenkins with the brass knuckles. We're going to have a gut check roll here, and it is, let's see, 9-6-3 versus 6. So it is Tom Jenkins winning the gut check roll, and he is able to disarm Big John Studd. And it is Jenkins who just slugged Big John Studd with the brass knuckles. That's going to cost Big John Studd a point of fatigue. Bobby Heenan is beside himself at ringside. Jenkins now goes for a stranglehold. Big John Studd is down. Bobby Heenan going to get involved at this point. On a roll of 9, Heenan attempts to pick up the brass knuckles and give them back to Jenkins, but give them back to Studd. But Jenkins again gets control of the brass knuckles and hits Big John Studd. Jenkins going for the cover on a 5 or lower, and on a roll of 8, it is Heenan alertly pulling the leg of Big John Studd over the top rope, or over the bottom rope, excuse me. And Tom Jenkins still in control. Jenkins now hits the double Nelson. And that's going to increase the, I don't know where my finisher die went, but that's going to increase the finisher to the maximum of +2 now. So Jenkins in very good position to score a submission on Stud. He goes to the 3/4 Nelson. The submission roll here is 6 or lower, and on a roll of 12, Big John Stud able to power his way out. Jenkins keeping the pressure on. Stud tries to get out of the ring. Jenkins grabs him by the leg and pulls him back in. Jenkins now with another hip toss, taking Stud down to the canvas. Jenkins follows that up with an arm bar and a crossface. Stud unable to escape. Jenkins now with another hammerlock. Stud struggling to his knee. Now a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Big John Stud, and on a roll of 7, it is a running back elbow delivered by Tom Jenkins that stuns Big John Stud. Jenkins now tries a back body hold, and Stud powers his way out of that attempt, and it is Stud now catching the bear hug. Stud finally able to get a breather here, holding Tom Jenkins in the bear hug. And now a big shoulder block delivered by Big John Stud that puts Jenkins down to the canvas. Both men are slowed. Both men gradually getting to their feet. It's Tom Jenkins who gets to his feet first. He's going to try the body scissors on a roll of choice F. 10 or lower. He is able to execute the body scissors, and Big John Stud goes down to one knee. Another hip toss delivered by Tom Jenkins, followed by another hammerlock. Stud will not stay down. Jenkins with another hip toss, and this time Stud is going out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 7, that's the best man wins roll. In this case, it is Big John Stud who wins that roll, and Irish whips Tom Jenkins into the ring barricade. Stud now with the big body slam. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 5, and on a roll of 4, finally he gets him. How about that? Big John Stud gets the win. With a big body slam, but Tom Jenkins certainly gave it everything he could give it in this match. Both these men at the point of exhaustion, and there will be no post-match shenanigans as Stud gets the pinfall, and Bobby Heenan takes Stud out of the ring, and Stud is busted open and happy to be victorious and not interested in mixing it up any further with Tom Jenkins. So give the win to Big John Stud after a very brutal matchup against a very game but overmatched Tom Jenkins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our main event as Super Blue 1971 gives that match a 4-star rating. What a battle that was, says Salvador America. Thank you both for the comments on that match. But ladies and gentlemen, the time has now come for your main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this match. This match is for the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, coming to you out of Humboldt, Iowa. Standing at 5'11", weighing 208 pounds, this is Frank Gotch. And similar to Tom Jenkins, Frank Gotch with some submission moves in his arsenal. Going to attempt to bring the big man down and secure the championship through technical skill, because he ain't going to get it done in a brawl or a battle of power against his opponent, your reigning and defending Atlantic Heavyweight Champion out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Standing at 6'5", weighing 289 pounds, this is Terry Bam Bam Gordy. All right, big drink of water as we head for tonight's main event, and we get the championship dice, the black and gold. Ready for action here for tonight's main event. And the opening initiative roll is won by Terry Gordy. They come together, and Gordy with a big right-handed punch that stuns Frank Gotch. Gotch staggers, doesn't go down. Gordy comes at him now with a knee lift. That is an agility move. And Frank Gotch by far has the agility, as Terry Gordy has the power in this match. And it is Gotch coming back with an Iowa backdrop that takes Gordy down to the canvas. Gordy gets to his feet. Gotch stays on him with a thought about a whip to the turnbuckle. Let's see, both these guys are A-rated on the turnbuckle. So I think Frank Gotch is going to roll up. And sure enough, on a roll of 5, he hits the power move. And he is unable to execute the double leg takedown. And now Gordy takes over. And it is Gordy with a big elbow hammer. Elbow hammer to the top of the head. Gotch fires right back with a handshake. And tackles Gordy down to the canvas. And tries for a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Bam Bam. And on a roll of 7, a running back elbow by Frank Gotch is able to put Gordy down onto the canvas, and now a headlock and trip takes Gordy back down to the canvas. Gotch trying to work some submission magic here, get some riding time, and now goes for the crossface and the armbar. And Gordy is now down on face down on the mat as Gotch has him in that armbar with a crossface. You might call that the label lock or the yes lock, but on Frank Gotch's card, he probably taught that move to, or probably both Danielson and LaBelle learned that move watching Frank Gotch. It's just a crossface and an armbar. Terry Gordy doesn't care. He doesn't like it. And now it is Gotch converting that into a reverse Nelson, and that is an add 1 maneuver. So Gotch with a reverse Nelson applies the first point of fatigue of the match to Terry Gordy. Gotch going to follow that up again with a, this time he is going to go to the whip to the turnbuckle. And on a roll of 8, it is Gotch who is able to nail a big kick on Terry Gordy coming off of the turnbuckle. Gotch remains in control, goes once again to that Iowa backdrop. Now he's going to go for the pin roll. He's going to go for the cover, the pin roll 3 or lower. And on a roll of 4, he almost got him. Wow. Wouldn't that have been something? Frank Gotch now back in control. And Gotch now going to go back to the reverse Nelson. And that's going to add another point of fatigue to Gordy. He's going to go for the submission here on a roll of 5 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Gordy able to work his way to the ropes. But Gordy is now noticeably favoring his left shoulder after the reverse Nelson applied on a couple of occasions by Frank Gotch. Gotch with a chance to do some more damage here. And he goes to the Gotch toe hold. The Gotch toe hold has been applied. This is a +3 finisher. The submission roll here, 9 or lower. And on a roll of 5, he got him. And a new Atlantic heavyweight champion has been crowned here in Charlotte. So Frank Gotch accomplished what Tom Jenkins could not, using his technical abilities and his submission moves to take down the big man and get the submission victory in the center of the ring here in Charlotte by way of the Gotch toe hold. Terry Gordy never really did get much of anything done, got a few good punches in, but Frank Gotch, once he got Gordy down, he stayed on him and used every submission hold in the book, the crossface with the armbar, the reverse Nelson, the Iowa backdrop, and finally the Gotch toe hold is what got the job done. Gotch was just too much for Mount Gordy here tonight, and a new heavyweight champion is crowned in the AWF. So congratulations to Frank Gotch for a big victory here tonight in the main event. And thank you to everybody for checking this out tonight. This is great. 6 viewers and 6 likes. Appreciate everybody jumping on that like button. Derek Bauman, Jay Randis, Salvador America, Mike Fortune, Super Blue 1971. Frank Wayne Scott was here earlier this evening. Someone else I believe we might have missed. Let's see, Derek Bauman I believe we called out. After further review with Steve Tower also made his presence known here in the Dave Cave. So thank you, one and all, for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Salvador America, for your kind words. Congratulations to Frank Gotch, your new Atlantic heavyweight champion, crowns tonight in Charlotte. We will be back on the channel hopefully next week with another wrestling broadcast from Heartland Championship Wrestling. Let's see what's on the schedule. I don't think I have the match cards laid out for next week as of yet. But it will be, as I'm pulling up my my match spreadsheet, it will be Heartland Ladies Wrestling from Cincinnati next week on the channel. And we do have the main event laid out. It will be for the Heartland Ladies Tag Team Championship. It'll be a big show. We're going to see the Ladies Championship with Tasha Steeles and Big Swole defending against the team of Laney Luck and Hyann. We will see an I Quit match pitting Jessica Havoc against Portia Perez. And we will see the retirement match of Cheerleader Melissa as she takes on her feuding rival Mischief in what she has declared will be her final match in the Heartland. So thank you all for tuning in. We hope to see you next week. For those of you so inclined, tomorrow morning we will have My Journey with Jesus on the channel. And an invitation from Super Blue 1971 to appear on the podcast with Mike Fortune and my good friend Brock Atkinson. We're looking forward to that very much. So thank you for that. And thank you for everybody for tuning in from the Dave Cave. This is Dave Little signing off. That's our stream, and I am out of here.